Okay, so we're going to show you some sort of import Japanese games, some of the weirder ones, some of the cooler ones as well. This one's actually coming out in the UK and it won't be too far off you actually seeing this DVD. I think it's coming out end of June, but we thought we'd show you action using the Japanese version. It's called G1 Jockey. Koei have done a number of these G1 games, they're horse racing games as you can tell. They're actually pretty cool, mix of kind of tactical sort of horse management, stable management and also racing. And yeah, some pretty good Wii controls. So I will show you how it works. So I've skipped the bit where I kind of select which horse I'm actually going to use. You can kind of pick what horse is coming up in the upcoming races. And they all have different sort of abilities and sort of statistics if you like. They're all contained here in this bottom right corner. So some of these mean like steers to the left a bit, if steers is the right word for horse. Maybe slows down at the end, speeds up at the end, you know, a little bit of a crazy horse. I don't know, it's all in Japanese, I'm just guessing. But this shows you all the different attributes the horse will have, and that will obviously match up with the kind of track you're on, the weather, all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, I've skipped that, I've got a horse, and I'm going to get straight into the race and show you how the Wii controls work. So, the idea is, with the nunchuck, you are waggling it to kind of do the kind of, I don't know what that's called, what a jockey does, pushing forward on a horse. You're not supposed to do that all the way around the track because the idea is to save the horse's kind of stamina as you go around. So I'm going to hang back a bit. The horse will kind of steer itself, but you can push the D-pad left and right to get around the other horses. So about the kind of 600 metres mark, there's about 600 metres left, I'll start putting my foot on the gas in horse terms. You can see that thing at the bottom, that sort of bouncing ball, shows you how the horse is kind of getting ready for a kind of speed boost at the end. If the concentric ring is actually growing outwards, then it's kind of building up to a big end of race sprint. I'm trying to keep it quite still at the moment. Okay, so now it's time to start going. So I can start whacking the horse with the remote. You never thought you'd be doing this with a Wii controller. And so that go symbol, the go message has appeared at the bottom of the screen, which means I should be going as fast as I can. I'm not doing great. And yeah, that's the end of the race. Came in 7th, not too bad for having this strap on, don't tell anyone. And yeah, that's the result. Now the cool thing about this game, if it isn't pretending you're riding a horse with a Wii controller, is you get, which I press the right button, yeah, you get a very cool replay, which you can change the camera angle and actually looks pretty good. So you can, yeah, you can fast forward a bit with the A button. You can pause it as well. I haven't done this for a while. There we go. And change the angle. Dynamic. You can switch horses. Like so. So yeah, you get a nice, it does feel really good, whether you're into horse racing or not really. It's actually a very, it's quite an addictive little game because the races are quite short. I haven't shown you, some of the races do have jumps, so some of them are a bit longer, but yeah, it's just got that nice kind of mix of management and actually taking part. And your decisions do affect things, so I quite enjoyed it. And I think when it comes out in English, I think it'll be worth a look.
I'm going to show you a bit of Fishing Master, which is an import game I've been reviewing this morning, so I've only had a few hours with it. I will talk you through the main kind of introduction through the menus and stuff. This is beautiful, if slightly underwhelming, box art with all the little characters on it. But let's go into the game. This guy is, I believe, some distant relation of yours, I'm not quite sure. He basically gives you kind of new tackle, you can change the settings, it's a typical kind of underwhelming menu screen. Let me flick through all this very interesting banter and go to the actual game map. Assuming that you're actually playing in like real life settings in Japan, given that it's Japanese map, and there's 8 different sort of areas you can unlock as you go through. This is the first one, and there's all these different kind of areas. You just kind of select using the nunchuck. This one's kind of weird in that you're actually going to be fishing, from what I can gather, inside the harbour of a major city which I can't imagine you're going to want to eat any of the fish you catch in here because it's fairly unpleasant. Okay, so you just use the nunchucks analog stick to kind of wander around. There's my little dog that I chose. His name is Dog. The way that the actual casting works, as you might expect, is, well, you hold down B, you kind of be doing the normal, as you'd expect, like kind of casting a fly action, and you have to release B just at the kind of top of the arc, kind of like the Zelda fishing, except with a different button. So let's see if I can actually do this. Okay, that's not too bad. Now, you pull it back towards you, either using the nunchuck's analog stick, or any of the nunchuck buttons, in fact, hoping that some kind of fish is going to bite on the line, and nothing bits. Okay, let's try over here. Looks like there's a few more fish there. Why do I get the feeling... That was a terrible cast. I get the feeling I'm going to be standing here for the next 10 minutes. Oh, okay. Okay, so now it's grabbed. Oh, okay, that was very fast. Let me try and catch another one, and you'll see there's a meter at the top that basically tells you whether the hook is in the fish's mouth strongly enough or whether it's about to come loose. Not... Oh, okay. It's kind of a balancing act between reeling in with the nunchuck and tilting the remote to the left or right so that the fish actually stays, so that the line stays taut and doesn't break. So I'm kind of pushing. Cool. Basically, the way you actually catch them at the end is it kind of stops. You stop reeling in and nothing else happens until you actually flick the remote up. It kind of tells you when to do that. So there's about 4 or 5 different fishing spots you can unlock in each area, but you're doing the same thing every time. You're just winding in with an nunchuck and trying to flick the remote. You can change the lures. There's lots of different fish you can catch, will give you different points, different money, but basically the actual mechanic of what you're doing is the same in each one. Quite unimpressed with it at first, but to be honest, I quite got into it this morning, and I suspect I'm going to score it rather well, because you can actually waste quite a lot of time doing it.
We're going to look at Crayon Shin-chan now, who is the cutesy little rude Japanese schoolboy of the cartoon. He's been around for quite a while. Some people might remember his games back on the NES. And here is his Wii version, Crayon Shin-chan, some kind of subtitle I can't translate. So we're going to run you through some of the mini games. It's basically a mini game collection. This first one we're going to look at is a game of What's the Time, Mr. Wolf, except with a small dog instead of a wolf. And the aim is to sneak forwards by shaking the nunchuck, or the remote, sorry. But when the dog turns around, you have to stop. Or you get seen, oh, like that. Oh, I'm no good at it, as you can see. I keep falling over. Most of the game is great long cutscenes in between the mini games. This next game is Watering a Garden. I think the main problem with the title as a whole is that all the games are quite sort of cutesy and silly, even though it's meant to be quite a rude kind of comic series. So to actually be watering a garden isn't particularly cheeky, so it just feels very tame. See, I'm just aiming the remote to move the water around onto some flowers, and the garden gets slightly more complicated every time. It's as exciting as it looks. Ooh. Now he kind of counts the garden. Yeah, I think we did a good job there. Or did we? No, we got 0 points. No, we didn't do a good job. The good thing is, if you lose all the games, you can still carry on. So it's perfect for people who are rubbish at games like me. And it continues like this. There's loads of this kind of stuff. And this next cutscene, I think, goes on for like 20 minutes. So yeah, that's Crayon Shin-chan. Pretty basic stuff. Avoid. Go for the DS version instead. That's worth a look. We're now going to look at SD Gundam Scad Hammers, which is this game. It's part of the Gundam franchise, more specifically the spin-off Super Deformed Gundam, which means sort of little chibi robots, just sort of short, stubby ones. It's a Japanese game that probably won't be coming out over, well, it's got no release date and it's sort of gone now, it won't be coming out over here. But that doesn't mean you can't play it. You could of course import a Japanese Wii on which it would work, and that's the only way you're really going to get to play it. But you know, if you do import a Japanese Wii, you get to play all these crazy games that we're always writing about, and get to taste some of them for yourself, and have a sort of slightly different games collection to the average Wii owner. So we're going to have a look at this one. The sort of gimmick in Scad Hammers is this massive Scad Hammer, which is a giant sort of ball on a chain which you wave around. Of course, the only proper way you could do that on the Wii is with a bit of Wii whipping with a remote, and that's what we shall do. As you see, it's got this sort of cel-shaded look, it's all nice and chunky. To begin with, you're just being taught the moves, because you're only recently, I don't know, Scad hammered up, so you've got to learn the ways of the Scad hammer. These small little cutie characters. So whipping the remote gives a good old bash. The harder you whip it, the harder the power. So you can do a little kind of light remote. If this guy will let me fight, because he keeps wanting to talk to me, I don't want to talk to him. See, that didn't go very far. If we go smash, we make a big crack on the floor, and it looks brilliant. We can also swing it from side to side, so it's not just all over the top. Then we collect loads of power-ups, because we love power-ups. You've also got, by pressing the B button, you get free control over it, so you can just sort of swing it around as you like. You can flick it over there and just take out loads of people. This is quite good when you're surrounded by enemies, because you can just batter it back and forth and smash the enemies up. I think some enemies are about to make themselves known, so we'll show you this bashing in action. We'll smash the door down with our little trick. Yeah, I'll do it. And it's quite samey. The whole game is just doing that a lot. But you know, you level up and you get all kinds of massive versions of the Scad hammer, so it's quite chunky and satisfying to play. And to tell you the truth, the whole Japanese language thing isn't too much of a barrier, because you can kind of understand. You know, you just put on the weapons with bigger numbers attached to them, because that means they're more powerful. And the enemies are so easy to smash down. I don't know what the story's about. Probably got something to do with robots. Yeah, that's the stuff. And yeah, you just repeat this forever, and that's the game. We're looking now at Fire Emblem, Goddess of Dawn, which is this one here. This will be coming out at some point in the future. It is scheduled in to have a UK release, but when, we don't know. It's the next part in the largely excellent Fire Emblem series. If you haven't played them, it plays a bit like Advance Wars, except you have individual characters, and if they die, they're dead for good, which is its kind of unique hook, in that you have a very limited amount of people you have to make do with. On the Wii, it's you know, it's excellent. It plays as it always has. The only thing is, it really doesn't use the Wii that much at all. It may as well be on the GameCube. It can be played with the GameCube pad, as I'll demonstrate. It plays on the Wii remote held horizontally. It's all controlled with the D-pad and basically the 2 button to go through menus. There's no sort of motion jiggery-pokery here, or pointer or anything, which isn't completely a shame, because you know, it plays fine. It proves that you really don't need it. We're just waiting for the troops to come on. At the beginning of each battle, they come on. There's a lot of talking, which is why it's worth waiting for the Japanese version, because the English version even, because it doesn't make any sense currently, and the writing's normally pretty good standard. It's got a good story. We have to go through tons of tutorials, because it's always teaching you new bits and bobs. They've added all these sort of very minor little changes to the game. And as you can see, the series, the level's made up of a series of grids of squares. It's all based on square movement, which makes it perfect for the D-pad. It's very simple, relaxed pace to it. in that it's turn-based, so you're sort of gradually putting together your moves. I think this is telling me how to secure a throne or something. I don't know. Let's go and attack someone on a horse. Oh yeah. And then we attack. We say, yeah, we want to attack him. Then you get these little animations. If you've played them before, any of the Fire Emblems, you'll recognise them. Two people sort of square off, and you chuck a very big spear through a man's face, which is excellent. Not enough of that kind of stuff. And this continues. I'm not actually putting much thought into this. It must be admitted, you've got to really think about it where you're going to put people. So for now, I'm just trying to get some violence. Oh, this guy's good. He's a wolf and he eats people. He's like a wolf man. His attacks are extra powerful. This guy's about to feel the wrath of the wolf man. Oh no, he's not. Oh yeah, he is. Excellent. And there you go. That's basically Fire Emblem. If you've played it before and enjoyed it, look forward to this one. It's great. So this is the last game. It's a special treat. It's Densha to Go, perhaps the greatest train driving game of all time. That's the train we'll be driving. It's the Shinkansen. It's a bullet train in Japan. It goes between two stations, which I can't remember the names of, but it's quite a famous line, all digitally recreated in the game. Of course, the very unique thing about Densha to Go is this lovely controller with which we steer said train. All the buttons are on here that we need, so we'll sort of flick through this menu and find free-form mode, and that's the one we want, or free fun even. No, we got to select your sort of different track types and lengths, what type of train you want to drive. I quite like this, where's the one that looks like a boot? That one. This is quite a famous one apparently. It's famous because it looks like a boot. So we'll be driving this train. It's quite a simple game, brake and accelerator. You have to make sure you start with them both on nothing, 0, or you'll, I don't know, well, it'll be chaos. Actually, I think we know we start with brake on. Yeah. One of these is... Right, that's go fast, that's stop. Right, here we go. Right. This is slightly dangerous. I've put us straight up to the fastest we can go, which is 13. This is the accelerator. We'll slow it down because we don't want to give the passengers a fright. As you can see, we're driving out of the station. It's all quite, you know, apparently it's all what it looks like. So, you know, this is it. If you've ever wondered what this part of the Shinkansen train looks like, it's this. We're going to speed up, see how fast we can get going. Answer is very fast. It's going to blow your mind. You've got this light on the controller. Just while we're speeding up, I'll point some things out. We've got that light which turns on. That's quite good. And this sticker, which isn't very good, because on the PlayStation 2 version you get a little LED screen which actually has your speed increasing on it. So you're relying on that and not some stupid thing on the screen to see how fast you're going. You've also got a horn, but I can't, it's one of these buttons. Oh no, no that's not. That's looking out the window. There is a horn. It's one of these. Whoa. Let's change camera. It's quite confusing. Yeah, we'll go faster. And all the game is driving from station to station, and you have to stop at stations. That's your only objective. We'll hopefully get to a station, and I can show you the slow, complicated process that you need to slow down. In free-form mode, you can just go as fast as you like. In the actual game, you have these sort of strict speed-regulating controls which are on the side of the tracks. And if you're going too fast when you enter a new speed limit, it slams on the emergency brakes and it really upsets everyone because obviously their train just sort of jerks, you know, staggered stop, and that's not particularly fun for people who are standing up and stuff. So we'll just sort of zoom along. The big mystery of the controller is this hollow here. We don't really know what it's for. It looks a bit like a watch. That was my theory, a pocket watch, like a train conductor. But I don't know, it could be used for anything that's round. So, oh, now this is the major flaw of the games, that so much of this particular track is tunnel. So while it's true to the track, it's not much fun for gamers, as it's all tunnel. So you're driving in the tunnel, which isn't very which isn't particularly fun. Yeah, that's really it. That's what Denture to Go is all about. So if this looks like your kind of thing, and if you've got a lot of money, because this thing costs like £50, it's crazy, on top of the game. So the whole thing, you're talking about like a £100 package, just so you can drive a sort of fake train. Which, oh, here we are. We're going to slow down now because we're reaching a station. Oh no! Oh no! Ah! Oh yeah, that was good. And that's how you don't stop a bullet train from going 200 miles an hour to 0 in 5 seconds. That is Denture to Go.